Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. This is Plumbob here and today I am bringing you another brand new speed build. And today, as you can see by the title, I am building a Mobster mansion. Now I've been working very long and very hard on this and there is like so much footage that it's ridiculous. But I really wanted to put my heart and soul into something, and as soon as I came up with the idea I just really needed to build it. And I really wanted to go whole hog for this one. I really wanted to put in lots of detail. You know, lots of things to do, and I've never seen anybody do a Mobster mansion in particular. But if anybody has, please let me know of any builders that have done it, because I'd be intrigued to see what they've kind of come up with for their idea of a Mobster mansion. But let me tell you, this is my biggest one to date. This thing is absolutely enormous, and I have never ever spent so much money, like in The Sims, I mean. Coming up with a build. Like, this is the most expensive build I've ever done. Everything about it is just big. So it probably will lag your computer if you don't have you know, like the quickest kind of computer out there, like if you've kind of got just a normal spec computer. So it's probably not an ideal build for those of you who have kind of got like a normal spec, regular spec computer, because in the end I've got quite a high spec computer myself. So it did run fine, but there were moments where there's that many objects and that many things in the build. It did lag a little bit, I will say, and I was surprised. Well, I'm not surprised, but I am surprised because this is quite a quick computer, but it did struggle a little bit. So that's just a little, like, warning for you all, like, this is not for the faint-hearted at all. But I felt like I wanted to do something with more of a story this time round. And I've been watching Killing Eve as well. I've just finished season 2. And I kind of got inspired to get into doing a bad kind of build for bad Sims, you know what I mean? Because I always kind of do all happy-go-lucky kind of Sims. And they all like love each other and they're all happy. But this time round I wanted to do something a little bit more darker, a little bit more deeper. And it's actually fun to kind of go to the other side, so to speak. I had like so much fun building this. I actually got excited at work to just come home and build. That's all I wanted to do, was come home from work and build. So that's what I did in the end. And this is going to be it might be a 3-part series. It just depends on how quickly and how much of the footage I can squeeze. I mean, this is the exterior only, and this is already like 40 minutes long, so I'm sorry about the length of the video. But if this is something you're interested in and you want to see like lots of detail and stuff like that, then I have included a lot more footage than I normally would. Like, normally I cut a lot of stuff out, but because of how big and detailed the build was anyway, I thought, you know what, I'm going to add a lot more footage, and you're more than welcome to skip through parts to see how it develops and see what tickles your fancy. So this is my Mobster mansion and I'm so proud of it. I absolutely love it and I can't wait. I've been looking forward to showing all of you. But like I said, editing is a long process. I've probably spent at least 12 hours on this, at least, probably more than that. I'd probably say close to 15 hours of work has gone into this. So I appreciate any comments or feedback about this, and so yeah, let me know what you guys think of this. So this little baby, now hold on to your simoleons, people, hold on to those pennies, because this is going to cost you a nice big fat 1,777,307. Hang on, what did I say that wrong? 1,777,307 simoleons. Yeah, I did say it right the first time. I got a bit confused by the numbers. Yeah, so this is it's nearly 1.8 million simoleons. I should have just said that really, but you know, I wanted to go into the details and let you guys, you know, it's just in case you needed to save that 307 simoleons for this. You know, you might have 1,777,000, but you haven't got the 307. So yeah, just make sure you add that in there. So that is a big fat number. Now I think the biggest build, I haven't even done close to 1 million, I don't think. I think the biggest one I might have done is like 600,000, something like that. I'll have to check, don't quote me on that. And I did build this on a 64x64 lot in Windenburg as well. And this one, I located it specifically on the island with the 64x64 lot on there, because with this story of this, I kind of had the idea that this like big time Sims mobster gangster person, whatever, he's got an entire empire and he deals specifically in stolen artwork and stolen artifacts and stuff like that. Now, obviously drugs is not a thing in The Sims, and this is a family-friendly kind of, you know, channel here. So I thought stolen art and stolen artifacts would be the best way to go about this. Now, I know mobsters do deal drugs and guns and weapons, and of course we don't really have a choice of weapons in The Sims, which is understandable. But there are a lot of like debug objects like knives and stuff, so you know there's a few bits and pieces around like that. So yeah, this is the Sim mobster. This is like the ultimate criminal. So there's a lot of fun in this build as well. Like there's so much to do and so much to look at. So yeah, so let's get onto the nitty gritty. So this mansion has got 6 bedrooms and 7 bathrooms, and I will say that 2 of the bedrooms are located on the lower floor there, and also they are guest bedrooms and they share a bathroom as well. So seems like the kind of place where it would maybe have a few guest bedrooms, or maybe their staff quarters, anything like that. And there's also 7 bathrooms as well. And I can't remember how many's located on the top and the bottom floor, but never mind. Right, in terms of the design, I wanted it to look like a kind of classic looking mobster house. Like the stuff you'd see in like The Godfather, or I don't really watch gangster films or anything, to be honest with you. But you can, you know, the typical stereotypical mobster looking mansion. And I wanted it to just be crazy extra. I wanted marble everywhere, I wanted pillars everywhere, as extra as I could possibly make this, like physically make this myself. And I think it's come out looking very, very extra, if I do say so myself. And I've just been so excited to get this on and show everybody, because I think you guys will appreciate this. Also, I'd like to welcome any new subscribers to the channel. It's so good to have you, and thank you so much for your support. And sorry, you can hear Elvis, he's crying at the door. I've had to shut him out like 4 times already, because he keeps, if I shut the door, he doesn't like it. He'll scratch the carpet up, and then if I shut him out, then he'll cry at the door. So it's like a lose-lose situation, and now he's scratching the door. He's having a moan. So just ignore him. I needed to shut him out because my boyfriend's watching the football at the moment and he'd have it as background noise. Right, so in terms of the aesthetic of the house, like I said, it's very extra. And I wanted it to kind of look like one of those classic looking mobster houses. So it's kind of got a Mediterranean vibe to it. And it's, yeah, it's wow, like when you look at it. Like, I don't mean to blow my own trumpet, but when you look at it, you're like, yeah, that looks like a mobster mansion to me. And I did kind of, my boyfriend, he's kind of watched gangster films and stuff before. And, oh yeah, I think I was on about the location, sorry, sidetracked there. So, the location of it in Windenburg, so obviously it's on the island, and I thought it'd be a good idea to have it here because you've got the beach and you've got the water, so it's a very private piece of land here, and also you do have the water all around, and there is also like a docking area just down below there, wherever it is, yeah. And I thought, you know, it'd be a quick way to escape from the building if needed, and also a good way to ship out illegal goods if that was necessary as well. So if you wanted it to go, you know, if it was too risky by like a vehicle, a road vehicle, then maybe boat was an option there, and maybe that's where all the goods come in and go and everything. Right, so we'll talk about the exterior of the house because this is what we're going to be mainly focusing on today. I have started to edit the interior, so just give me a little bit more time to do all that sort of stuff because there is so much footage to go through. Right, so there is like a small basketball court just at the side of the house. There is an outdoor bar area. There is a huge swimming pool, and I can't remember, I think it was my boyfriend who came up with the idea of putting like a giant simoleon in the middle of the swimming pool floor. So it's all about money, and it's all about, you know, all being extra and everything. Like, look at me, look how much money I've got. Like, so I did a giant green simoleon in the floor of the swimming pool, which you'll see that in a little while. There is also like a small gardening area. There's a barbecue area. There's a sunbathing area by the pool. There is also a dodgy little burial site as well. Now, as you know, mobsters can get their hands dirty. And so I kind of wanted there to be almost like a legal burial ground. So they're kind of unmarked graves, and the ground has been freshly dug, and there's like there's a shovel around as well. and that will be, you'll see that in a little bit, but I wanted it to be like, you know, a quick way to try and get rid of a body. They just bury it in the back garden, in an unused bit of the back garden, which is completely separate to the rest of the big fancy garden, so it's a little bit more secret. There is also a secret side entrance where the truck is, and there's some blacked out cars as well. Now that is kind of like a goods inwards kind of thing, and that's kind of where you can only access that entrance either if you can drive in there, or if you're a sim and you can't drive, which is obvious, there is a secret bookcase entrance which is located within the office, and that's the only way you can get from inside the house to outside where that little location is. And this is where I imagined a lot of the illegal goods came in, and you know, they had trucks and stuff like that and blacked out cars if needed, so it was a quick getaway. And I do change the walls in a little bit to like high walls, so that you know, it's a lot more private and a lot more hidden away. I didn't want it to be like obvious, I wanted it to be quite secretive, I wanted everything to be secretive, and there's also lots of like CCTV cameras everywhere and stuff, so just keeping an eye on everything, because you never know, your own staff could betray you. Where was I now? Yes, so, and there's also on the top balconies at the back of the house, there is an outdoor gym area which is connected to one of the bedrooms, and there is also like another, well, the master suite is located on the entire right side of the house, and they have access to 2 balconies, and the balcony which is on the left hand side of the screen, well, it's all just rotated, that is their balcony, and I just put some sun lounges there, and I also put an easel there, so it's a bit of a relaxing area. Right, so on the interior, there is so much, sorry, I've written so much stuff down. So, like I said earlier, on the interior, there's a lot of columns and marble and fancy wallpapers, and everything is just super fancy, super rich. I mean, I can see why it cost like nearly 1.8 simoleons, because I literally bought all the expensive stuff, everything that you could think of. I made it as extra as possible. So there is a lot of hallways and like reception rooms, so there's lots of like fancy chairs and stuff like that, coffee tables, statues, and there's like bookcases. You know, it just looks all very, very posh and fancy. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just looks like a very rich person lives at this place. There's nothing suspicious just yet. And there's lots of like fancy paintings and stuff like that. And there is a large dining room as well, with a piano, and there is also a fireplace, a microphone, and like a little seating area. And I kind of had the idea that maybe, you know, they didn't listen to like the radio or whatever. They had their own like pianists come in, and they had their own singers come in. So when they have a proper formal dinner, maybe they need to impress like, I don't know, like people of law. Like, I don't know, like, I keep saying like, what's the word now? Like politicians and stuff like that, like people who have power in law. You know, maybe it was a place for them to kind of impress them and look, I've just got money. There's nothing here. That's, you know, there's no funny business here. Don't worry about that. And there's also like a large living area as well, which is located on the right hand side of the screen. It's where like all of the big windows are, which have got open, you know, it's all open. And in there is a chess table, there is a TV, stereo, and there's bookcases. And also located on the lower floor, there is a games room as well, which has got a foosball table, a fish tank, arcade game, TV, and a games console there. So they've got this as a nice little play area, I guess. Also, just to let you know, this is a very grown-up house. Now, I did not cater this to families, really. I probably located it, the youngest I would imagine would be a teenager living in this house. It's very grown up, it's very adult, so I wouldn't recommend you moving your little ones into this one, because this is a very yeah, it's not ideal for kids, to be honest with you. It's ideal for more grown-up sims, maybe even elderly sims as well, like rich elderly sims who have got some dodgy business going on in the world of Windenburg. So yeah, so it's not very good for the family, but you know, I thought that the whole story might have made it a bit more interesting. As well, there is like I said earlier, 2 downstairs guest bedroom with the shared bathroom. Now, I do decorate both of these bedrooms the exact same, so I will only include one, like me decorating the one of them. There is also an entertainment room with a piano, a microphone, a guitar, dance floor, buffet table, and a chocolate fountain or a cheese fondue fountain, whatever. So I imagine they had some really fancy parties. And on the way into this area as well, there is kind of like another bar area. There's a lot of bars and stuff in this place. So I imagine that there'd be a lot of like staff working here and maybe even gardeners and stuff like that. There is also a large main office. Now, we will come back to this shortly after I finish talking about the upstairs, but this large main office, this is where you can go through and go to the secret side entrance to where the trucks are and where all the goods will come in. But there is also a staircase which leads downstairs into the basement. Now, I will leave it at that, but I will let you know what is inside of the office. There is like a mini golf putting mat, so like you know, like you see it on the mask when they like playing golf and stuff like that, like inside the office. So there's like a mini little golf thing. There is a bar area, there is a stereo, bookshelves, and of course the secret entrance. And it's very fancy, and you could imagine some very professional meetings going on in here, some very secretive meetings going on. And you have the bar as well, so you know that they want to cater to the guests that are coming over from meetings and stuff. So you can imagine the kind of meetings that would go on. So upstairs, we'll go upstairs. So we've got a grand staircase which goes upstairs with like a large chandelier coming down, but you will see all of that in the next video. The whole, like I said earlier, the whole right wing of the house is the master suite, and that includes like sitting areas, large beds, small office area, walk-in wardrobe area, TV, access to 2 balconies, own private bathroom which includes 2 toilets, 2 sinks, and the swan bath, which I absolutely love. I did use a lot of stuff which came from Get Famous because it just suited the whole vibe. It just went really well. And there is also, on the opposite side of the house, is kind of where all the other bedrooms are located. So there is a large pink bedroom with balcony access, and that's where they can go to the outdoor gym. And I imagine maybe a spoiled teenage girl lived here in this bedroom, and she had everything she wanted, and she didn't really know what Daddy was getting up to behind closed doors in the office. So I kind of imagined that, you know, she hadn't got a clue. She knew he was doing something, but not quite to the extent. And so she has access to a walk-in wardrobe of her own. Well, it's not really a walk-in, it's kind of like her bed is in the middle of the walk-in wardrobe. It looks fancy anyway. She has a vanity table, a sitting area, and some bookshelves. There is also 2 smaller bedrooms located on the 2nd floor, which is a smaller mint green, black and gold bedroom, and it's just got the basics in there, got wardrobes and a bed and some side tables and decor. And there's also a grey striped like bedroom as well, with all the same sort of things. Now, we will go back on to the secret part of this house. So obviously you already know something dodgy is going on with this place, you know. All is not what it seems. Why is there a van there? Why is this located on a secret island? Why? So downstairs in the basement where the secret staircase is, you will come to some giant vault doors. Now these vault doors will lead on to an entirely secret like area where this entire operation's going on, with all of these illegal artworks and artifacts and stuff and money. And you will be greeted with 2 people sat on the computer illegally, probably going on the dark web and doing all sorts of dodgy stuff for their boss. And they're kind of like surveillancing. And off to your right hand side there will be an interrogation room where there'll be like, it's got like a torture chamber. So there is a chair sat in the middle, there's a camera filming everything, and there's I mean, this is a little bit PG at the moment, so this is getting, no, I'd say R-rated. So there's weapons about, there's like chemicals about, stuff like that. So, and I did include as well like a wet floor mark, so I could imagine that's where like maybe blood used to be and they tried to scrub it up and it's gone a funny colour. So yeah, that's a really dodgy room. And it's also got like an observation room, which is like what the police have, with the one-way mirror. So you know, the boss can see what's going on. So if you've been a naughty boy or a naughty girl, you know, it doesn't matter what sex you are, if you've been bad and you've disobeyed the boss, it's not going to end well for you, is it? So So there's an interrogation room down there with all of your torch items readily at hand. And there is also like I can't remember what it's called. It's something that came with Strange of It. It's like a listening device. I think that's what it is, a listening device. And there is also 2 large vaults where you can store all of your money, lots and lots and lots of money. There is also a lot of stolen artifacts downstairs as well. And in this, I kind of included a lot of the Salvadorada stuff. So like the green skeletons and stuff like that. Lots of stolen artwork as well. Statues, all sorts of stuff like that. Now, something which I kind of came up with like at the last minute downstairs in the basement. If you don't like it, you don't have to keep it. But I imagine there was like a naturally occurring like diamond area as well, which was based underground. And they just so happened, maybe that's what this all started off as. Maybe they found this like secret little cave and there was a lot of diamond located in this and they wanted to keep it secret. So they've got it cordoned off, so you can't get to it, but that's how this all started. Maybe they started mining the diamonds, but now it's just grown and grown into more illegal activities, and it's become this huge operation where there's just lots of illegal stuff coming in and out. But here you can see I'm just doing like the secret like side entrance, and there's loads of boxes everywhere. I imagine lots of more artifacts coming in and out. Maybe they were selling it to the black market, maybe you know, just coming from all over the world, and it's just dodgy. And I imagine that van actually was perfectly in line with the door on the side of it, because I did kind of have like a little loading bay there, and also some little chairs here as well. I could just imagine maybe some of the workers like having a little smoke here. And I used one of the debug little basket things. Well, it's not really a debug, you get it from Salvadorada. It's like a little souvenir thing, and I imagine that being like a little ashtray. And look, more blacked out vehicles there, and also a truck full of stuff as well. So they've got like a whole thing going on here. It's like, this is not a simple operation. This is big time money. And also downstairs in the basement, I forgot to mention, there is also a room dedicated to gold and money. And I've got loads of gold bars everywhere. There is duffel bags with money everywhere. There's large checks on the wall, which came with Get Famous, and there's also more stolen Salvadoradian, I think that would be the right word, temple items as well. So I got like the plates and the frogs and stuff, the really expensive stuff. But I got all that from the debug menu, and as you can see, I've used a lot of debug stuff here as well. So I use the walls around the outside of this place as debug, the cars are all debug, and I really liked having the limo out front. I felt like that was really fancy, and that's how they would travel around. And there's also like the big sports car out front as well. I imagine that they'd have a supercar, just because of the sheer amount of money they've got. And I must have spent a fortune on potted plants and just plants in general, because there's that many plants here. I spent so much time decorating, but I absolutely loved every minute of this, and my imagination ran wild on this. But if you've got any suggestions for any other types of builds, just let me know, because I'm trying to think of another thing to do now, because I kind of like had this burst of energy and this burst of creativity, and I knew exactly what I wanted to build, and this is what came of it. And I love it when I finally get that kind of something clicks in me, and I think, oh wow, this is what I want to build. I want to build a mobster mansion. I haven't seen anybody do that, with all these illegal activities, and it was just a nice spin on things. It was a nice change from doing happy things, or, I mean, what was the last thing I built? I built the Solani Town Centre, and to me, I thought that was a bit of a project, but no, this was something else. It was a whole other level for me, and it was brilliant. I just loved it. I loved every minute of it, and I'm really proud of it. So let me know what you guys think about it, because I'm interested to know, especially because I put my heart and soul into this. But yeah, any other ideas, give me a shout. I want to know. I really want to know. So yeah, and I hope you like the outside of it as well. But also, how has everybody's, like, I haven't been on for like 2 weeks or something, so how everybody's like 2 weeks been? I'm trying to think what I've been up to. I haven't really been up to much. I've got a really sore shoulder at the moment for some reason, and I don't know why. Like, I keep getting my boyfriend to like rub it for me, like the actual muscle, and it's absolutely killing me. And I don't know what I've done to it. I don't know if I pulled it or if I've slept on it funny, but it's been hurting for about 3 weeks now, but it seems to be getting worse. So I think I'm gonna have to get myself a doctor's appointment. But it's nothing like serious. It's just really hurting for some reason, and I don't know why. And also I have booked a week off work as well, so I'm going to spend the week with my best friend. So I can't wait. We're going to go to a spa day, and I'm so excited. You can't beat a spa day, just a time to relax, and she needs it. I wouldn't say I need it as much as she does, but you know, I'm not going to say no, am I? And we're going to get like an hour-long massage. Oh, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait. And here is the swimming pool as well, the very extra shaped swimming pool, and I actually really like the shape of the swimming pool. So here I am, I'm just kind of mapping out the shape of the simoleon here, and figuring it all out, and it does go a bit funny at one point, but then eventually I do change it, just slightly, and it seemed to work a lot better. So I'm pleased with the way the simoleon actually came out. I actually really like it. It just seemed to work really nicely. So yeah, and then I do change it green as well, and I do also change the colour of the flooring as well, so it stands out brighter. I think I make the colour of the flooring like a marble black colour. I can't remember. I'll show you. Yeah, you go, marble black. And yeah, it's just very extra and stuff. And I'm trying to think of what else I've been up to. I haven't really got much planned as of yet. I mean, I am going to be doing the editing very soon. I'm going to start editing tomorrow and getting that done. And I'm trying to think what else have I been up to? I went shopping on Saturday with my best friend. That was nice. Went to the shopping centre, and I just went and got a few bits and pieces that I needed. And also, have you guys tried, if you're into your makeup and stuff, have you tried Elf Cosmetics? Because oh my god, their makeup is amazing. It's like so cheap, and it's just amazing. And I recommend it so much. I mean, I used to have this like £30 bottle. I don't know if I've mentioned this before actually. If I have, I'm sorry for repeating myself. I had this £30 bottle of MAC foundation, and I used to think, oh, that's a lot of money. You know, things are getting tight. You know, I've got bills to pay, and I can't keep spending my money on expensive foundation. And I've been meaning to try. I watched the Jeffree. Yeah, I have mentioned this before. Sorry, I'm mentioning it again. I watched the Jeffree Star review about Elf, and he like absolutely loved it. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a go. And for $7.50, well, for less than the price of the bottle of foundation, I get like my concealer, I get my primer, I get everything, and it's fabulous. So I recommend doing that. And here I'm just building a little back entrance here with this archway. I believe that came from Get Famous as well. I think it suited it really well. Right now I'm building here. This is where the dodgy little burial ground is. And I actually had a lot of fun doing this. I used a lot of debug items. I did get a lot of debug items out before I started building, because there's a lot of stuff in the... Obviously we've got like 1,000 new items now. And there's that much to look through, so I had a proper good look before I started to build, and I got a lot of stuff out that I wanted, and I got like the what's it called now, like the little mud pile, dig pile thing where the Sims can dig and find treasure and stuff. And I also liked using these like broken fences with the bits of greenery. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's been a long day at work today. And I just thought I really needed to get this recording done. And I'm sorry, I've been rambling for literally like half an hour straight. But yeah, I use a lot of debug stuff here. And I actually love like finding all this new debug stuff and like the bushes and everything. And everything. I just love it. I'm so pleased that the Sims team have given us this. And also, I forgot to mention the Machino stuff pack. Hello! So I built this before the Machino stuff pack came out, and I do have it. And I've got to say, I am pleasantly surprised about the Machino stuff pack. I thought, oh no, it's going to be another waste of money. It's going to be like my first... I was going to get it anyway, but my first pet stuff, and I thought, oh, it's going to be crap. And actually, I am very pleasantly surprised. I think we've been given some really good items. And it's nice that they've kind of focused more on like the photography career and stuff like that. Like, that's really good. And I do want to play have a little experiment with the photography career and stuff like that. But I kind of got a little bit inspired to make an evil sim after I built this. I really wanted to build like a savage businesswoman, like someone who is happily going to tread on anybody's toes to get what she wants. Very materialistic, very selfish, but she's rich and she's beautiful and she just doesn't care. And men are just toys to her. And she doesn't really have any feelings. But I kind of got inspired by this build and a little bit of Villanelle from Killing Eve as well, because I like her like no nonsense, no remorse attitude, and I like how funny she is as well. If you haven't seen it, please watch Killing Eve, it's amazing. So I kind of inspired it, I kind of combined the two things together, and that's what I came up with. I can't remember what her name is, but she's just this beautiful blonde sim, and she's just savage. She just doesn't care. She'll do what she wants and get what she wants. So there's no nonsense there. And then in that little awkward section, I kind of put like a little pond. You'll see it in a little while. I didn't really know what else to put there, so I just kind of put like an old little pond with some like old steps and stuff. I imagine maybe it was ruins from like an old house, or like used to be there, or kind of like they refurbished the house and it's kind of like the old bits and pieces that were left over and they're just kind of left in there and haven't done anything with them. Now here is the sitting area with the sun lounges and stuff, and yeah, there's a lot of greenery around, and I did use a lot of the Get Famous stuff, and I just love the sun lounges as well. It's about bloody time we had them. And yeah, I don't really know what else to say, to be honest, guys. I've kind of like told you and shown you everything, so I'm tempted to just kind of leave it here, because the rest is just for your eyes to be pleased. So yeah, so do you know what? I'm gonna leave it here because I'm getting tired and it feels a bit awkward now, and I'm just like, oh god, shut up, Emma, you're being annoying now. So yeah, anyway, right, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to get the next video up as soon as possible. I'm going to do editing tomorrow. I did start editing yesterday, but like I said, there's that much footage to go through. It might be a 3-part, and I'd rather not do that, but I really put my heart and soul into this, and I want to be able to show you guys the best of everything and how much detail went into this. And some of you might not like it, some of you like your short little builds, but for those of you who are in for the long haul, this is for you, baby. This is for you. Anyway, if you would like to download this build, please go onto my Sims 4 gallery page, and you can find it under my hashtag EmmaPP. Or alternatively, you can go through my EA username, which is x-pinkplumbob-x, and you should be able to find this build and more builds that I've done on my channel. And you can just spoil yourself rotten. If you want a dodgy sim, this is the one for you. This is the house for you. Like I said, not very good if you've got a bit of a naff computer, but anyway, you know, we can all dream. So yeah, anyway, I'll leave it here. So I'll see you guys next time. Alright then, bye bye.